Okay, in this video we're going to do the V-slide plate. I opened up the sheet layout, I changed the file name, I did save as V-slide plate, updated my title block text, and now I'm going to get ready to start. I'm going to go ahead and start with a circle, and I'm going to build the middle, and I'm going to build the right side, and I'm going to introduce a new tool. It's called the mirror tool. So the first radius is going to be 0.875, which is 7/8 of an inch. And then from that center point, I will measure down. I'll draw some construction lines here. This distance of 2.75. And I'm going to go to the right 1.375, which is 3/8 of an inch. A lot of people forget to do this. I'm going to bring a line up that's going to be 0.625, which is the center point of the bottom circle. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a circle now and snap to that center point and draw my circle down. All right, now we need to locate the center point for this upper circle. Center radius. Actually, what we need to do is we got to lay out our center point first. So we're going to draw a line from the bottom up, and that distance is 4.7. And then we're going to go out to the right 2.2. Hit enter. Escape out of that command, and that's our center point. Now we go to circle, center radius, snap to that center point, and the radius is 0.875. All right, next thing I'll do is draw a line from here to here to be tangent. So I'm going to go to line. I'm going to use my toolbar and snap to tangent tool. I got to do it once, and then I got to click snap to tangent again for the second tangent point. Enter out of that, and we have a line in here that's tangent to both of those circles. The next step, we're going to draw a line in here, and we're going to snap it from the center point to this end point. And where this line is tangent, there's an end point to that line. And we have this line here. When we do that, it should be 90 degrees. And that's important. That's how we find this angle. I'm going to copy this line. It's important to do this. This is a little step that's kind of hard to figure out. So now with that angle being the same here and here, we're able to use this intersecting point as a guide. So I'm going to copy this line twice. I'm going to go ahead and copy it here, and then I'm going to copy it again, but I'm going to grab the bottom here, this bottom endpoint, and snap it to there, to that endpoint. So notice we have these three lines here, and they're all parallel. That's very important that these three lines are all parallel, and that's what you do. That's the result whenever you copy this line. The line doesn't change on an angle, it stays parallel. So that's important because this line here is tangent, but it's not tangent up here. Notice how it goes and cuts into this circle. A lot of people try to make this tangent up here, which you can't do. That's not the way it is. So we're going to go and use this intersecting point here and snap over. And the drawing requires this to be 90 degrees. Well, 90 degrees is the same thing as being perpendicular. So we could go ahead and use a perpendicular snap and snap the perpendicular. So what that should be is this line and this line should have an angular dimension of 90 degrees. So that's the construction of the right side. Now I can clean it up. Let's go through and just trim some things, delete things. I'm going to delete all this stuff here first. Delete and delete. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim. Drop down, go to trim, and select everything here and trim this out. Okay, I'm not going to trim this. Now, so I got the right side of this V-slide plate constructed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the mirror tool in the modify tool panel, go to mirror, and I'm going to select this outer stuff. And once you do your selection, what you need to do is specify first point on mirror line if you look at the command line, which is going to be the middle line here. So the middle point here snap that, and then with ortho on, it'll go from one side here or to the other at 90 degree. So get it to the left, click again, and it's going to ask you something down here. It says erase source object. I do not want to erase the source object, so I'm going to click on no, hit enter. All right, so that's pretty much the V-slide plate. We're going to clean it up some more. Delete that line out and trim this middle circle. We're good to go there. Okay, now what I need to do is center it next into the sheet layout. So go to line, snap a diagonal line here like we always do. Now I got to construct some lines here to get to the center point. So I'm going to draw a line across here, and then I'm going to go down to the midpoint of that, snap down to the bottom. So that's going to give me the option to go to the midpoint of this line and snap it to the midpoint of that line. So we can now clean that up, delete that out. And there we go. We got the V-slide plate. We have it centered in the sheet layout. The next thing I need to do is put some dimensions in. So let's go to, I was going to say do a linear dimension, or you do radius first so that we can put the center marks in. So go to radius, let's put that radius, and then we get our center mark. Let's go ahead and hit the space bar, repeat last command, choose this radius. And you're going to see if I clicked on there and I get that radius there, I don't like that. So you could probably drag this around, put it like so. I like it like that. That's a little better. So the center mark isn't showing up. If it doesn't show up, let's see if we can put it in. Go to center mark, and you can manually put the center mark in. Okay. All right. So another radius dimension down here, and now we're going to finish putting center marks in. Go to center mark, choose the center mark there, go to center mark there. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some linear dimensions in. Go to linear, let's snap at the top of that center mark, top of this center mark, go up. You got your 2.2 inches there. And then let's reference the bottom here, linear dimension on the bottom. Let's go into that center mark. And this goes to the bottom. This 2.75 dimension goes to the bottom. So we're going to drag out. And then I'm going to have to do some adjusting here because, number one, I do not like to see this line touch. So drag that out so that it's not touching. Another thing is I don't like to see this radius intersect here. So I'm going to drag that up and try to make it fit. It might be a little bit difficult. You might have to click a few times so that you can try and drag that in and make it fit. So right there it fit, although I don't like that arc right there. So I'm going to try dragging that down a little more. And there we go. Okay, so it takes a little bit of maneuvering there, but you can get it to where it looks nice. So I'm going to snap here, and this one is all the way at the bottom again. I'm going to snap to here. I'm going to snap to that extension line so I can use that extension line. So I want that gap down here. I want those lines touching it. All right, I have another linear dimension at the bottom. We're going to go from here to here, 1.375 dimension. Now, take a look at this. I do not like that. We got to fix it. So we're going to try to get that to fit off to the side, and that'll work just fine. Doesn't touch, barely fits, but it will fit. We have one last dimension, I believe. We're going to do an angular dimension. We're going to hit this spot here and this spot here, and we're going to go 90 degrees. Okay, that's our 90-degree dimension. We're good to go. This is the V-slide plate. Double check, make sure all dimensions are on. Looks good. I thank you for watching.